This is Big Business with Sarah, the podcast for entrepreneurs who want to continue building their business and understand you should never stop learning. Welcome to episode 21 of Big Business with Sarah. Today we're going to talk about hiring your first team member. And I'm so excited to share this with you because at some point in your business, it's really a good idea to start investing in some extra help. And I wanted to create this episode for you a little bit on what I have done and also what other businesses do and have done, and can't wait to share this actually with you. You are, for instance, fully booked, or you want to delegate some work, and you really need to hire some of your outside expertise. Then this episode is really for you. So as you know, I have been a former team manager, interim manager, and that also implied that I was leading a team. And it's really different to working for a company for a short time, because interim management is always for a short time, and leading a team that is already set up, that are probably being paid by someone else. If you're a team leader. But you're still very responsible for their for their output, and it's very different actually to being a solopreneur, a freelancer, and actually hiring your first team member. So for me, this also meant that I had to rethink this because I was so used to delegating and leading teams, and now all of a sudden I wanted to do this as well as a solopreneur. So every business is different, and that's also what I want to start with. And every business is different. So all the needs that you need in your business are different. Most business owners I work with, that I know, are starting with working with a virtual assistant. And that is something which was completely new for me, for instance. So I'm working with a virtual assistant now since almost a year, a little bit longer. I worked with another virtual assistant before, but I think with my current virtual assistant, 1 year now. And my virtual assistant, for instance, is helping me with creating landing pages, websites for me, because she's my technical VA. VA means virtual assistant, and she really helps me with that part. I have once done an online disc test, and I'm a very red and a little bit yellow person, and the work that she's doing is very blue, and she is also very blue. So you can always work. You can do everything if you're working a freelancer or a solopreneur. If you're working and doing everything by yourself, you have to step into all those different roles. But maybe at some point in your business, you're thinking, you know what, I'm making enough money, I'm fully booked, I really need someone to help me. And then it's great to understand what your personality is. So do that, take that disc test and find out what you like. Probably you already know in one way or another if you like to write invoices. And really worked on filing everything and making everything beautiful in your Dropbox folder or your Google Drive. Then you're probably a blue person. And if you're more about strategy and very impatient, then you're probably red, like me. So you can hire a virtual assistant that can help you with your technical part, but also maybe your invoices, customer service, content planning. There's so many things that virtual assistants can do, and really look up who would probably be the best fit for you. But also, what could also be is that if you need more leads. So for instance, I just said that most people that I work with start with a virtual assistant, but maybe you're right now in the phase that you're thinking, you know what, I need more leads. Then probably it's a good idea to ask someone to work with you on sales or lead generation. maybe Facebook advertisements or creating reels, TikToks, whatever. Maybe that's a great way for you to gain more leads and actually grow your business. So really think about what is it that your business needs right now? What is your business lacking? So is your business lacking money, time, clients, expertise maybe? And try to find someone for that. No worries, I'm going to explain that how you can do that. So, for instance, I'm also working with a video editor now, and that is really helping me with because in content creation, video is so important right now. Everyone, every medium, Instagram, TikTok, even LinkedIn, is really very focused on video content. I remember working at an organization which is called the Museum Night Amsterdam. It was a great evening, one night a year. And it was a full-time job. I was a project manager there, and this was my first job. So this was 2011, and we already I remember we had a lovely community manager, and he also said content is king, and I never understood what he said. Now I do, of course, but that's what he said. And also that video was going to be really the future. And I mean, this was 2011, and now I'm really implementing this, because you can also, watch this episode on YouTube, right? So, but it's so interesting how long that takes. So that's a little sidetrack there. So how to do this, how to hire your first team member. This is something that I have a lot of experience with. And the first step is really have a clear job description. And especially in these times when it's so hard finding people for your business, for helping your business, you should really take some time and spend time on this and write this interestingly. Don't lie. Don't say that you're a vivid business with 50 other entrepreneurs if you're not. But really try to make it and sell the job or the tasks that you have. And then if you've posted a job description, ask everyone around you, do you know someone? Or maybe you went to certain forums, or you know that there is a Facebook group with virtual assistants. Then if everyone who has submitted an application, you should really answer them all. Even if you're not going to invite them for a discovery call, please do talk to them or send them an email, even if it's just a very simple email saying, hey, thank you, we received your application, but unfortunately we're not going to work together. Please do this. I'm saying this from an educational point of view, because I know that there are so many business owners who are not doing this, also large companies who are not doing this, and I find it so appalling. So please do this. Then the next step is once you've had the conversation with your new team member, you clicked, you have a contract, everything is signed, sealed, delivered. You're going to start. Make sure that the first day is going to be a great onboarding. So make this for someone, even if the first day is just 1 hour, make it very clear what the team is all about, and make it also very clear on that you are happy that they're part of your team. So maybe send them some flowers or a gift or a card or anything that's saying thank you so much for being here and thank you for helping me build my business. And why is this so important? Because I believe it's very important to create a culture right from the get-go. It's not that you have to have a beautiful office like Google with all different kinds of play corners or whatever to really feel like an employer. No, you're actually providing for someone, and you're a part of someone's life. So try to create a culture that really fits your idea of entrepreneurship. And what do you find important? So, for instance, something that I find very important is that my team members are proactive. So if they are seeing something in my business that is not working, I want them to be saying that to me. And I don't want to ask for it all the time. What do you think? What do you think? Another thing that I would really, that I really like is that if my team is really involved in me and in my business. So if they're saying something like, yeah, you know what, Sarah, I saw, for instance, a sales challenge, and then someone would say, you know what, I've seen the sales challenge. I really would suggest to maybe do this as a follow-up, or I don't know. I love to be, I would love to have, I love to have a team that is involved. And it's also really up to you to create a clear process in working together. So having processes in place, for instance, if you are working with a virtual assistant and you're both setting up a website or a page on your website, have a clear process. This is your responsibility because it's your business. So make sure that they can follow your lead and they can actually fill in what they can do with their expertise. Also check in regularly if your team values the process, if they like it, if they have some tweaks maybe that they want to suggest. And also what I always really love to do is to involve my team in my plans. So you can do this very easily. I do this by recording a Loom and telling them, you know what, this quarter for me, or this new program or this new thing is about this and this. This is the reason why I'm doing it. So I'm involving them. I'm showing them exactly what my business is about and what I want to reach. By the way, you can also do this already at the onboarding with your team members. I do this all the time. Well, I'm not going to hire any new team members shortly, but this is something that I've done and it really works very well. Another thing that I want to suggest to you is to involve them and let them try everything of your products and services. And I really want you to think abundantly in this. So give them everything for free so they can try everything, sample everything, and really see what works for them. And then a little bit less fun is that you should also know when to say goodbye and have an open conversation about this. Sometimes it just happens that a team member is not a good fit for any reason, really. Maybe they're just not a good fit in the rest of the team. Maybe they're not a good fit with you. Maybe you're just not happy with how they deliver. Always have an open conversation about that. Maybe give them one more chance to make it better, and be honest to that also about to yourself as a business owner, and you're also helping your team member with this. And always leave on good terms and thank them for all that they've done for you. Or what is also an interesting thing is that you can always expand and always use these. I would really suggest to use the steps that I just gave you. I think it's about 10 steps, and how you can hire a new team member. And as you're hearing from what I'm saying, is that I find it very important to treat people well. And I've created a free guide for you, the Leader Guide, in which I'm explaining what I believe that leadership should be all about. Yes, leadership in your sector, but also leadership in your team. And I created that free guide. It has some extra new tips included for you as well. And I just really believe that, if you're investing in becoming that leader, by investing in your skills, in becoming a better leader, then it will really come back to you tenfold. And to close this episode, I want to share a quote from Oprah Winfrey with you. She says, surround yourself with people who are only taking you higher. So it's up to you. You are in charge. Oh, sorry, that was the end quote. It's up to you. You are in charge. You decide. It's your business. Enjoy hiring your first team member and let me know how that went. And I want to leave one quick message to tell you that you can step into my 3-week intensive where we really dive deep into your business and solve a problem or an opportunity. And I'm very much looking forward to that. I will leave the description. I will leave the link in the show notes for you so you can read more about this if you've liked what you've listened to and if you want to work with me. All right, have a happy day.